Hi, everybody. You may be listening to this as a replay, but we wanted to make sure that that you got some really good information. So today I have one of my best friends and associates, Andrea Stenberg. She is the baby boomer entrepreneur. She's a digital marketing strategist, and she's going to help us to see how we can look better on Zoom because we talked about having credibility and visibility, and that's part of your visibility to get to your purposeful profitability. Andrea, thank you for giving us this time today.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Yvonne.
So give us some good points. Some juicy bits.
Well, the first one, which maybe sounds obvious, but still I think is worth mentioning, is put on clothes. I mean, I know we only have to kind of look good from the shoulders up, but we've all seen those replays of somebody who has to get up for some reason and they're like in their boxer shorts or something. And so you don't necessarily have to have on like full business attire, but even just like black yoga pants so that on Zoom, it looks like you've got pants on. So just in case something happens, you spill coffee and you jump up, or the doorbell rings, or some reason you have to get up, you got pants on. I think that's like absolute bare minimum. Second thing is like your background. Now you can see mine isn't completely blank, but it's not full of crap either. So you need to find a nice balance. I know there are like Zoom, you can put backgrounds on, but it doesn't always work. For example, my laptop, for some reason, it keeps telling me I don't have enough power to do the Zoom background. So I have to have whatever's behind me on my Zoom call. I've set up my office in such a way that it's kind of neutral. Sometimes I'll put, like in this corner right here, I'll have a plant just to make it a little bit more visually interesting. Right now, my plant is half dead, so that's why it's not there. But, you know, just something that looks professional and tidy, but it doesn't have to be like completely blank in order for it to work. You just don't want to have too much chaos in the background. Next thing is lighting. And I know you've got a nice ring light. I actually don't have a professional ring light, but I do have a few things that are working for me. So one, you can see my walls and everything are white. And before I painted my office white, it was dark blue, and my videos were not nearly as pleasant to look at as it is the white, because the white reflects some light and it's kind of neutral. The other thing is, so over on this side of my computer is a window, and it's quite a large window. Right now, you know, my office faces east, so I'm not getting any direct sunlight right now, but I am getting sort of ambient light at this time of day. I do have a problem sometimes, like around 11 o'clock, 11:30, if I'm doing a live Zoom call, because I'm getting direct sunlight in, and half of my face will be like blinding light and half of my face will be in shadow. So you have to be aware of that with natural light, and you may have to adjust with curtains or things, but natural light is always nice. I also have
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so over here, and you can see a little bit, I've got a desk lamp that I've actually got pointed up, and it's bouncing off that shelf you see there and sort of going behind me. So again, adding some more light. And I also have a floor lamp sort of in front of the window, and it's got 3 different lamps or lights on it that I can point. And I try not to have any pointed like right directly at my face, but I might, like I have one pointed at the ceiling. I have one pointed at my desk in front of me. So that gets some light. And another thing that I just recently sort of accidentally discovered on. So when I'm working at my computer, I have 2 computer monitors. So the one that's right in front of me here has the Zoom, so I can see you, you can see me. The monitor beside me actually throws a fair bit of light if I have something white or bright on it. So I'll see if I can show you the difference. So do you see how the light changed? This is my desktop. It's and it changes, so this isn't very good. So what I've discovered is if I have my web browser open and turn it to like the Google page, because the background is white, it throws a fair bit of light on my face. and it doesn't change around. So just something really simple like that can make a big difference.
I was just going to say, I think part of it is the awareness of, so it's not that you have to have, I mean, because you talked about having a lot of different lights, okay? One of the things that happened for me was that I have a lamp on this side. So I had that same thing where I had lighting on one side of my face and not on the other. So I actually did not put the ring over my camera. I put it to the side to give me more side lighting from both sides. But what I found was that I got reflection in my glasses from the ring light. So I ended up taping a piece of tissue to kind of soften it. So kind of play with it. It's not, that you have to be all professional necessarily, but be aware.
Yeah, and tissue is a great thing to cover a light if you're getting glare. The other thing is wax paper. And especially like nowadays, because most people aren't using incandescent lights, we're either using LEDs or fluorescents. So you could safely put tissue paper or wax paper and not have to worry about it bursting into flames in the middle of your Zoom presentation.
The other thing about wearing clothes sometimes is I think it just changes the way you feel. You don't have, like you said, you don't have to put on a suit, but just, it just changes the way you feel.
Yeah, like putting on a necklace and a little bit of lipstick that just makes me feel like I'm a grown-up.
That's for me, that's the bare minimum, is some lipstick in my necklace. Okay, sorry to stop you. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. And the other thing to think about is, and this can be challenging if you haven't done a lot of Zoom meetings, is when you're the one speaking, look directly into the camera lens. Like the tendency is, like right now, I'm looking at you, Yvonne, on my screen, and you can tell that I'm not really like looking directly into the camera. So when you're the one speaking, look into the camera, because it makes a little bit more of a connection, even though, particularly if you have multiple people on the screen, you might be looking all over the place. But when you're the one talking, it makes for a deeper connection if you're looking into the camera.
I have trouble with that one.
I know. So do I, because the natural tendency is you want to look into people's eyes. And when you've got split screen, or when you have more than two people and you have multiple people, you're kind of looking around because you want to look into people's eyes. But if you want people to feel like you're looking into their eyes, you have to look at the camera. And so that just takes a little bit of practice. And you'll see while I'm talking, like I'm not doing that perfectly either, but it's something to just try to remember and try to get better at each time you do it. And that's really all we can do, because we're not professional broadcasters. We all have other businesses, and this pandemic has forced us to do more on camera.
Okay, we have about a minute left. What's your last nugget?
My last nugget is, before the camera goes live, make sure you're comfortable in your seat, take a deep breath, and just remember that Zoom is actually quite forgiving, because it's not in 4K. It's not like really high definition. And if you could just try to be relaxed and be comfortable, and remember, like everybody else who's on the Zoom call is kind of in the same boat as you. And so just, try to, enjoy the opportunity to connect with other people, and don't worry about being perfect.
I hope this really helped you. We did not get into some of the techie things that you could do, because that was not our purpose. We just really wanted to make you feel more comfortable when you were on Zoom and just bump it up a little bit. So again, for those of you who couldn't make it live, I hope that this is helpful, and I hope you will make it to a live office hour party. All right. Thanks, Andrea.
Thanks, Yvonne.